Good day and welcome to the special broadcast of Eye on Dubai. I'm Zanella Morrison. Home to the world's busiest international airport, its third largest port operator, and one of the most advanced digital networks, Dubai has much to offer trade and tourism. Amongst its many draw cards are its dynamic business ecosystem, open visa policies, and world-class lifestyle. Let's cross to my colleague Fifi Peters, who was in Dubai to interview Issam Kazim, CEO of Dubai Corporation for Tourism and Commerce Marketing.
From a contribution of the continent, the African continent, if you can just perhaps elaborate on what kind of opportunity you do see for African tourism in Dubai and just what the present trends have been so far.
I think for us, if you look at it, we've always used 2019 as our last official benchmark, right? That was the pre-COVID era, and we had reached 16.73 million tourists from all around the world. And since then, we went into lockdown. We were one of the first cities globally to lock down, one of the first cities, again, to open up for international travel, right? But again, we were ahead of the curve. So a lot of markets are only just starting to catch up in terms of its capacities as well. And with that in mind, we've had a good year so far. The growth of the numbers are ahead of 2019, so fingers crossed we'll be able to achieve the targets that we've set for ourselves. But if you look back again to the contribution of the continent of Africa, I would say about 4% roughly of the overall tourist numbers come from Africa.
Mm-hmm. I was speaking to a colleague of yours earlier, and he said before the pandemic it was actually a 10% contribution of travellers from the continent, speaking about the fact that we haven't seen the recovery to the pre-pandemic levels as yet, citing one challenge perhaps being air capacity, which is something that you've spoken about as well. So perhaps if you can just give us a little bit of colour around the importance of airline capacity and how much of that activity you have seen come back since the pandemic.
Again, for us, from a tourism perspective, we work very closely with the private and the public sector. And for us, it's crucial for our line of work. So what we do is we try to work and understand exactly from the airline partners that we're working with, where their capacity is coming back from. And we make sure that we are tapping into that opportunity as well to make sure that we are filling those planes and try to offload as many passengers as possible into the city, because again, let's not forget, Dubai is also a hub connecting one side of the world to the next. So we want to make sure that if they're not point to point, at least we get some stopover and transit traffic coming into Dubai, experiencing the city, and then on their way to their journey. But also, then what we do is we try to look at where the markets were prior to the pandemic, right? And we try to instigate or try to encourage to see that is there an opportunity for them to open up new markets where we can see that potential coming back. By new, I mean activating markets that were there active before COVID and not open yet or not reaching the full capacity yet. Our job is to ensure that there's demand. Sure. So by creating more search, shows there's an uplift in terms of the campaigns and the engagement that people get from the activities that we're running, whether it's on social media or digital platforms or even with the other external mediums that we are constantly working with, whether it's on our own platforms or working with key influencers or opinion leaders or trying to also work within the business community as well, just to make sure that the resonance of the brand of Dubai is out there. And then we can navigate and see how search is being lifted due to those activities. And if we can show that there's enough of a demand coming through, then we can at least encourage or nudge our partners to activate those markets. What we also do is we work with Dubai airports to see where other opportunities lie. So it could be, for example, local carriers from key source markets, then maybe we can then start working with them and try to encourage dialogue and try to encourage more travel to come through and capacity coming through other platforms as well.
Dubai, known as a very cosmopolitan city, there's someone from everywhere essentially that you'll meet here. You did state around 200 different nationalities or so that are here, and the intention, from my understanding, is not only to attract visitors but to ensure that they come back and hopefully invest and set up a home. So South Africans finding Dubai a popular destination, obviously, but just talk to us about that, and what do you reckon the winning formula has been around attracting expats into your country?
Absolutely. And I think you rightfully touched on it, because for us, we always say we're very proud that Dubai is home to 200 nationalities. They make up about 90% roughly of the local population. And for us, that's something we're very, very proud of, because these are individuals who've chosen Dubai to be home. A lot of them, whether they want to start up their career, set up businesses, even to set up home with their families, right? And I think even for children to be able to go to schools and come out really like global citizens out of Dubai schools over here, this is an opportunity that is probably unique to anywhere else in the world. Then you look at the lifestyle aspect, right? Because of that population, I mean, the reason why Dubai was the 4th most visited city prior to lockdown, and again, we've picked up very strongly where we left off. Our aim is to now reach the top 3 destinations globally. Because once people realize that there's a reason for them to visit Dubai, very quickly they realize the safety, security, the infrastructure that Dubai has to offer, the connectivity that Dubai offers to the rest of the world. It's not just from a business and logistics perspective that it thrives, but also for an individual to come in and explore the world from Dubai once they're actually based in Dubai is more of a reason why people are relocating to the city as well. If you look at it from a South African perspective as well, first of all, the ease of the climate, right? It's perfectly suited for most nationalities from all over the world. You look at the gastronomy scene. You look at the ability, even from a sports perspective. We have one of the most popular rugby sevens globally that takes place. Cricket is very, very famous in Dubai as well, and there's a lot of activities that happens in and around that space as well. And then again, the cosmopolitan nature, the communities that exist, and also the communities that live together in harmony. All of those things lend themselves perfectly for Dubai being the ideal city for them.
I'm glad that you mentioned sports, because you did make an example around the partnership that you have with Real Madrid right now, and the economic spin-offs that do come from investing in sports for tourism. Yeah. In my country, there was a talk about doing that with an English team. It didn't quite work out. There was a bit of resistance to the amount that you spent and whether the return on investment is actually realizable, and it is there. Sports and the tourism spin-off, in your view, is it a good bet?
Again, you have to analyze it like any other business partnership and business relationship. Obviously, being the destination that we're in and having partners, homegrown partners like Fly Emirates or Emirates Airlines, they've actually been quite successful in those partnerships across the world. And again, many sports teams or sports disciplines have been sponsored by Emirates Airlines. They sponsor cricket, they sponsor tennis, they sponsor specific teams. So there's a lot of successes that they have seen for their brand. For us, we've always been not very forthcoming when it comes to partnerships with sports in the past, because again, we could not find those synergies that made sense to us. But in this partnership with Real Madrid, we saw that they were like-minded people across the table as well. They are just as hungry, just as open to new ideas and creative thinking, and looking at problem solving that sits beyond the space that they're focused on as well. And for us, of course, the synergies that exist in terms of the way that they are with their followers, with their viewers, and the partnerships that they have that sit outside also the realm of football as well, we saw an opportunity that we could definitely leverage and build on.
Okay. Just lastly, we are counting down to COP28 that Dubai will be hosting really soon, one of the major big events that Dubai has hosted in the recent while. Big talking point, of course, is going to be around sustainability, and you did touch on this in terms of sustainability and tourism and what that means. Exactly what does that look like?
For us, of course, it's a main topic. It's a key topic that we've been talking about for quite some time as well. We're looking at it from a perspective of the local tourism, where we have specific districts within Dubai. So there's a lesser known part of Dubai called Hatta, which is Rocky Mountain side of Dubai as well. You will see a lot of developments over there that revolve around, let's say, the agricultural side, whether it's from date farming or it's from the honey festival that happens over there as well. There's a lot that's about sustaining the community that lives within that area as well, and also having lodging spaces that fit within those requirements as well. So that kind of fits within the brackets that we're kind of pushing towards, and also changing the perception that people have of Dubai as a modern city as well. But when you look at the modern architecture as well, so even from the hotels, a lot of them are taking a lot of steps to slowly but surely move towards a more sustainable offering. We've also enabled them by creating a lot of tools that makes it easier for them to see what their carbon footprint looks like today, and to be able to calculate how can they become better and better as they develop. And we're recognizing them through rewards and so on to encourage them to move down that direction. But if you look at, for example, the newer buildings, that's easier because you can put in the metrics that we have in place to encourage them to develop the properties that meet certain requirements, and then they will also be recognized, just as they are with their star system, with a specific type of a palm leaf that recognizes them and their efforts from within this perspective. If we look at it from a local community base, we've already encouraged by launching the Dubai Can Initiative to reduce the use of plastic bottles within the communities, and you can see that all of the hotels now have actually invested in bottling plants within their facilities and encouraging people by leaving them with beautiful bottles that they can actually refill on every floor and within the facilities and of the hotel itself. Again, encouraging to remove the use of single-use plastics from within the ecosystem.
Okay, so I am out of time, but thanks so much for your time thus far.
Thank you so much for your time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Fifi Peters talking to Isam Kazim, CEO of Dubai Corporation for Tourism and Commerce Marketing. And that's it for this episode of Eye on Dubai. From me and my team, take care till next time.